Welcome to White Horse RV Center in Williamstown, New Jersey, where today we're going to do a walkthrough demonstration video of a 2008 Fleetwood Bayside pop-up. This is Ian, one of our techs, who's going to walk us through the major systems.
Okay. To start on the front, you have your battery, which is connected to the coach through the converter box. So if you're plugged in, it does charge the battery, or if somebody's plugged in, it charges the battery. Your propane bottle there, it's held on by these two rods with wing nuts underneath. It's unique to a pop-up, but to remove that, you just loosen the wing nuts from underneath. The water heater is it's not an automatic. You have to light it yourself. You have to first put it to the pilot, hold your pilot down, light your lighter or torch, whatever you have handy. And you'll see the lower tube is the pilot, which I don't know if you can see in the video. There it is lit. Hold it for a couple seconds. When you let go, if it goes out, then that means you have to hold it longer. If it stays lit, it means it's been long enough. And you just turn it to the on position, which is shown by the red arrow and the white line. This here is your temperature, hot, lower to hotter. There's a slight delay before it'll kick itself on. The pilot went out.
So an aim of flame, some kind of lighter would be good to get in there. Okay. Okay, great.
There's just a slight delay before the light, then it'll light. When you're done, you just turn it off, and that shuts the propane off to it.
Okay. And that door pops up, and then there's a
Latch right here.
latch that pulls through and twists to lock in place. Okay.
Then coming around here, this is your city water input, which will feed water to the water heater, the faucets and all. This is your drain. You unscrew this and connect the hose from here to your sewer, and that's all this is draining is that kitchen sink.
Is the soapy water. Okay. And back of your water heater, as well as here back of the furnace vent, will vent warm air when they're on. So just beware of that.
In here is your refrigerator. This is a three-way. You have 12 volt, which is this. 110, if you're plugged in, that'll operate. Your temperature knob is up here, so you can set your temperature to what you want. And then the final option is propane, which there's a little dial on top of the knob. You move it over to high, you hold it down, and you keep clicking the igniter until you see a flame in here, which you'll be able to see on the camera. Then you just leave it up on high or medium, whatever you want it on, and that will run off the propane. And when you're done, turn it off, and it puts the flame out.
Okay, so the clicker's behind that knob, and then you had there's a little...
Yeah, it's just like a grill clicker.
Yeah, a little panel. Okay, there, you can see the flame. Okay.
And then, fill your fresh tank. If you're going to use your pump, is right here. The drain for that is further under on the tank itself.
Okay.
Then coming to this side here, you have your outside shower, which is plumbed in for your hot or cold. You have a 30-amp retractable cord right there. You have 4 jacks, and it's very crucial on a pop-up. We don't have them all down right now, but we have one on the other side. You always want to have one rear jack down before you go in and out of this, or it will pick up.
Right, right. Jacks are going to stabilize that when you're inside walking around the camper.
Very crucial before you walk in this thing. Make sure at least one rear jack's down.
Okay. And we're going to continue our walk around outside and then go inside, show the major systems, and then we'll show how to lower the roof and actually close it up for travel. There's one of the jacks down. It is a sand pad on that foot that could be removed with the wing nut and the screw.
Now with these style pop-ups, there's no lock on your screen door. It's just in and out. The door that you shut when you're leaving is also the door you would shut to lock it.
Okay, which makes a nice entry step there with a non-skid.
Now you push that in and lock it, and then you have a storage compartment there.
Okay. Okay, so that lowers down. You would unlock it, lower it, and then get to your screen door. Okay. Okay.
Coming on inside, all your outlets are on this single GFI right here.
So if you had any questions on the electrical, if you lost power, you want to go to the GFI in the kitchen, which is next to the fridge, and reset it by pressing that button in.
And then you have your fridge, which is just like a small little cubicle fridge. you have two settings on the door. One that when you pull this around, that locks it shut. If you were leaving it in storage, you want to leave this cracked open so it doesn't get moldy in there. And there's a little in-between setting on that knob there that holds the fridge slightly open.
Okay.
You push it in all the way, and that locks it completely. You have your outside of your furnace there. That's where you're gonna get all your heat from.
Let me switch with you. Okay, so that is our furnace heater here. Okay, and that's propane powered.
Yes, and then you have your sink, which, like I said, this is the only drain that's going to the outside. Your stove, same thing. The light you use to light your water heater, you would use to light your stove.
Okay.
I'd suggest lighting the stove first to help lead the air out. Then that just latches.
Okay.
Coming over here, you have your breaker panel, which has your 12 volt and 110 fuses. This is the main fuse going to the converter. It's this fuse panel. The upper fuse is the fuse going to the battery out front and to the 7-way. The middles are for lights and other 12 volt appliances in here.
Okay. And I see electrical outlet above the converter. You would need to be plugged into shore power, obviously.
Yes.
They only work off of electric shore power. The furnace for your thermostat, or thermostat furnace right here.
It's
okay.
These are unique. The knob is on top to turn it on and off. It is very stiff. It takes a lot of pressure to push it over on or push it off. The lower one is your temperature. By sliding it back and forth, less the hotter. And then you have your LP detector there.
Okay, LP leak detector. And when Ian turned the furnace switch on at the thermostat, you can hear the fan kick on. So this is now blowing out here from the furnace.
And for your AC unit, you have to plug it in. Now this one outlet is just for the AC unit. You can use it for other items, but this is the only one you can plug the AC into.
Okay.
And then you have your knobs here to control it. Your fan or your AC, whether you have a fan on or AC, and your temperature gauges here. Turn it off, and before you close the pop-up, make sure you...
Okay, make sure you unplug that and store that cord safely. Okay, so that's a good designated outlet for the AC cord, and also you can close these if you want less or more airflow. Maintenance on this filter in here, can this be vacuumed out or?
It is the thicker foam. At least once you're going to have to take it out and actually wash it.
Okay.
And then over here is just silverware storage and a mirror.
Okay, vanity or silverware.
And you have to have all these shut and stowed before you can close the pop-up on.
Okay. Table, there's a freestanding table, so it would flip upside down. You want to push in on the metal silver supports there. And then the brown legs will fold flat along the table base underneath, and there's a Velcro strap to store them. That table would be used in this folded down position to come across the bench seats to make a bed, and you move your cushions in on top of that dinette area to make a sleeping area. So getting ready to store the pop-up for travel, you would put it into the sleeping or travel mode.
You have to push them under because they won't clear sitting on top.
Okay. So your material is going to come in on top of that dinette area prior to bringing this tip out in.
These are going to have to be stowed over here. Take this down.
Okay.
You have to take this down.
Okay, so there's a support pole, and all you did was press the little metal button to drop that out. And then detach it from the overhead support there.
You have to fold this down first. And then it will allow you to take this out. It actually gets pinned behind the arm, so you have to lower it up before you take it out.
Okay, so under the bunk model is a really nice spot to store those.
And then these, you can stick one there. Oh, let me bring this down. Bring all your cushions lower to these rails.
Okay, so the rails on the side, everything has to be below that in order for the bed ends to slide in on top to lower the roof correctly. If you meet with any resistance as you're lowering the roof or trying to slide the bed ends in, you really want to stop and make sure those tracks are clear. Everything needs to be underneath there.
This is the same as the other. You just push the button, pull it down.
Okay, shepherd's hook pops out. Yep.
Pull towards it, unhook it, slide it under the bed.
And I also noticed, Ian, there are some supports here for your bench seat.
Yes.
So these, once you're set up, you can, gives you nice back support, and you want to certainly drop those down again so you clear for breaking down.
This cushion is most likely going to end up in our walkway when we're done.
Okay.
Now your door has two little kind of wing nut tabs. You twist, twist, and you have to unvelcro the canvas. Pick it up. Slide it back. Do not put your hand in the middle of the door. It will pop the panel out. So you always want to have your hands on the aluminum outer rail.
So you want to hold it from the frame, and then it slid very easily on that track. It's got some cables to support it, and then it's going to wiggle in and lock. Okay.
You lift up here, put these straps on.
And that's just to hold the door in place for when the roof lowers.
And the next step is to take this down. And followed by lowering your sink. Your water pump switch is here. It's easier to see once that's down. This turns
Okay.
your water pump on and off.
Okay. So that was right next to the sink at the base there.
All right, and then your next step is to take this down. Same thing, pop that out. And this in. Now we have to exit and put this cushion.
Okay, so basically everything has folded into your aisleway. There is still some room here if you wanted to throw in a last minute item. Your cushion can go there. So everything is below that track line for these bunk ends to slide in on top to start to lower the roof down. Move the owner's manuals here and set of keys as well. Take you outside. So you can see by removing the shepherd's hooks and the supports inside, it's ready to be detached at the ends with your materials. And then we're going to remove the support poles and slide the bed. Again, if you meet with any resistance during this step, you want to make sure that your tracks are free and clear inside. There's nothing blocking them.
You have to push the slide out in first.
Okay.
I was paused just before I shut it all the way.
So a helpful trick is to try to get that material out because it makes it easier. It won't get in the way of your sliding in. And that was very easy to just push. It's on tracks. Okay. Okay. And those are 2 locks for travel. They just fold flat.
Pop that out. Now slide the beds in.
Okay. Okay, this is Dave's going to help us with sliding the bunk ends in. So he's taking a little bit of weight off the end of the bed to remove those support poles, and then they snap right up underneath here, and then it's just lift a little bit and it rolls in nice and smoothly. Again, if you meet with any resistance, you want to stop and check, make sure those tracks are clear. It should go in flush. And then you just want to pile the material up on top of that bunk end mattress, because again, the roof line is going to come down and lower and lock for travel. So just walking around the exterior, pushing in that material to make sure it's going to clear where the roof is going to close. And same thing on the back bunk end.
You have to remove the bungee cords from underneath that hold the flaps down.
Okay, so let's see if I can show this well here. Along the edges here, there are bungee cords to hold that material. So we're just undoing the cords. And you'll see there are hooks here on the bottom. And then we're making sure that track is free and clear. Same thing with support poles back here. So a little lift up is gonna take some of the tension off and allow you to loosen those support poles from the back. And they're gonna snap and store right up underneath the bunk end here. You can see the end of the support pole goes into the back bumper. We're just lifting a little bit of weight off the bunk end, which helps release it from being locked into the bumper. And then it will snap up underneath that bracket. And again, should slide smoothly there, or you want to check, make sure everything's clear inside. Piling up the bunk end material so we can start to lower the roof. If you look inside the camper here, just to show you everything is ready to close down, and you can see everything clears very nicely inside the camper.
I have to shut this roof down.
Okay. And then the crank handle to lower the roof line is at the back of the camper. Voila.
Crank handle for the jacks.
Okay. So that works for jacks as well. Okay. A helpful trick is, as the roof's lowering, if you do have an extra set of hands, a helper, it's nice to go around and kind of tuck that in. Makes it a little bit easier to lock. And Dave, are you able to stop part way as the, oh, yep, okay, great. That makes it easy. So if it is just one person, you can actually pause, walk around, make sure it's all tucked in. And as the roof is lowering here, it's a great spot to see the roof air conditioning. You saw the inside of that. And then also the lock mechanisms for travel. You're gonna see that these will line up, and this is gonna come up and actually lock. And this is adjustable by twisting. So if you wanna make it a little bit looser, a little bit tighter. Again, just tucking to make sure all that material is clearing and isn't getting caught as you lower the roof line. Okay, when you get it lowered as much as possible with the crank handle, it becomes a lot easier to give a little gentle push on the roof, and it will help you to get that latched. You want to make sure all 4 corner travel locks are locked for transit. And then you would be stowing your outside shower, power cord, any other things you might have hooked up if you had a water hose. Before you head off, you do want to remove your crank handle and store it in a compartment. This particular model has a really nice front storage compartment that is accessible with the roof lowered. So you can certainly put the storage crank handle in there. And bring your leveling jacks up, your stabilizer jacks, with that crank handle as well. And it's good to go. Any other tips or tricks? Okay. Again, this is a 2008 Fleetwood Bayside. Thank you guys for the walkthrough demonstration. Any questions, please feel free to refer to your owner's manuals, which are included with the camper, or you can always give us a call, 856-262-1717. Thanks and have a great day.